Yo, what's going on, guys? Back for this Tuesday slate. We have a full 15-game slate for today. Jam-packed slate. Every single team is in action. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. Please be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you have not already. I appreciate you guys getting the last couple videos over 100 likes. Hopefully we can do better at the pitching options today. We do have a bunch more pitching options to choose from than yesterday's slate. So let's get right into it. First up at pitcher option, I love Trevor Bauer at 10-9. In cash games, I think he's definitely gonna be your guy. If you're playing just GPP, I think you could play like Snell over him just for the ownership. But Bauer's in a great spot here. He gets to face the worst offense in the league, the Marlins. The Marlins strike out a ton. He's playing them in Miami. The Marlins also they swing and miss a lot, and they also are not very patient at the plate. They don't draw many walks. Bauer coming off a game where he only had 3 strikeouts. I think he's looking forward to facing these Marlins and feasting on them. Granderson, Alfaro, both guys strike out a crazy amount. Just the entire lineup does, and he also gets an added advantage of facing the pitcher, playing in the National League. So Bauer just gets a great matchup here, great ballpark upgrade, great matchup, and great bounce back spot for him. So I love Bauer at 10-9. Now, things get tricky with your SP2. It's tricky because we don't have like a clear option at SP2. Usually you would have like a guy like right here at like the 7,000 range, like 7,000 to 7,500 where you're confident in him. But today we don't have anybody in this range that I like. We don't have anybody that I want to pay 75 to 70 to 8,000 for. If I wanted to play Velasquez, but he's at 8,700, he makes it very tough to play your hitters at 3,800 left for your bats. I don't like that. So I'm going to take a chance with Sandy Alcantara at 6,100. The Indians have one of the lower implied totals on the slate at just 4.2 compared to the other pitcher options. Like everybody else that has that implied total, their starting pitchers are well over like 8,000. So Alcantara does get a good bargain here at just 6,100. His price tag has been free falling, going from like mid 7Ks to 6,100. He's playing at home, which is a great benefit for him. Last time he faced the Indians, that was on the road. He has some good stuff. He has upside. He's probably like a couple years away from being like a solid like a 2 or number 3 in the rotation. But he did draw the start for this team opening day, where he shut out the Rockies, 32 DraftKings points. Yeah, definitely has some upside. He's gonna have some big games this season. It's very rare that a pitcher goes through the whole season, and they don't have some highs and lows. He's in a bit of a low streak, but I think he can go right back to a high streak here against an Indians offense that still has not been able to get it going yet. Ramirez is still hitting just under 190. Lindor's barely hitting over 200. Those are the 2 guys that you are scared of the most if you're a starting pitcher, and those guys are struggling so much. The rest of the lineup is not very scary as well. So I think Alcantara could manage fine. I'm not looking for a ton out of him, but I think he could get me like 15 to 20. And I'll be really satisfied with that. And if he has like an outlier game, like he did opening day, then you're looking really, really good. So I think he makes a lot of sense, just because we don't have a solid SP2 on this slate. So that leaves us with 4,100 left for the bats. I think that's plenty enough for me. Start off with third baseman. I like Eugenio Suarez here at 4,100. So Suarez is facing a lefty in Jason Vargas. If you know a couple things about Suarez, you should know that he smashes left-handed pitching. Over the last season, he hit 320 against lefties, way higher than his batting average against righties. His ISO against lefties last season was over 250. His slugging percentage was like 200 points higher than it was against righties. So this season as well, he's already had 2 home runs against lefties and like 19 at-bats, I think, or 19 plate appearances. So it's a small sample size. He's going to get a really, really good matchup here against Vargas, who doesn't strike out many guys, and he's going to pitch to contact, and Suarez has a ton of power against lefties, like I just said. At 4,100, he's still pretty cheap, so I think he's a really, really strong option today. Shortstop, I'm going to go with Sogard again, because why not? Every time I played him, he has just done great things for me. Ever since he's been batting leadoff, and he's been great. He just doesn't strike out. Only has 5 strikeouts in 41 at-bats so far this season. His game log is jam-packed with 15-plus scores. He has, out of his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So out of his 10 games that he's played, he has at least 13 DraftKings points in 7 out of the 10. That is ridiculous for a guy that has not been very good for his career. The start that he's gotten off to for the Blue Jays is unreal. Now he's facing a pitcher that's making his debut for the Angels, Canning, who does have some good stuff. But every time a pitcher makes his debut, you got to be, they're always going to be butterflies. He's always going to be a little nervous. So you never know what you're going to expect for a guy making his debut. Some guys come out firing like nothing's happened. And some guys, they break down. They get nervous in their first start. So it kind of depends. Obviously depends on the personality. But either way, 4,100 for a Sogard, the way he's been hitting the ball and facing a guy making his debut, I think that makes sense to play him again because, so far 70% of the time he's got you with the great return. So I like him. And then, like I said, I love the Texas game to get your hitters in. Start off with Shin-Soo Choo. Choo has been on fire over this past week. The entire Rangers offense has been on fire. They scored 29 runs the last 2 games, and now they're going back home. They've always been a way better team at home, and coming off that road trip, I think they could continue that success. Here, they get a great matchup against Jordan Lyles. Lyles has been pretty solid this season, but if you look at his stats, he struggled a lot against lefties, and this Rangers lineup is stuffed with a bunch of lefties. So Lyles should be in for a long afternoon, especially with all the lefties. So if I was stacking up the Rangers, I would stack up all the lefties. And Choo, leading off, has been great. He's hitting really solid this season. 330, 3 home runs, and should get a bunch of at-bats here against Lyles. So I love him. And then I like Nomar Mazara as well. Mazara has been on a very hot streak too. Over his last, he has a bunch of multi-hit games. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of his last 6 games. He has at least 2 hits. He's been stroking a bunch of home runs as well. Great matchup here against Lyles. Like I said, he struggles a lot against lefties. And with Mazara, with Choo, with Gallo, with Odor, with Danny Santana, those are the 5 I would want. Maybe Asdrubal if he's in the lineup. But, the Rangers are in such a great spot today. With the way they've been hitting, it's just hard not to like them. They are expensive, but that's why, if Alcantara can do some good things for us, and these Ranger bats should come through, it's going to be a good night. So those are the 6 players that I like for today. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and good luck today.